Hey, what's up everyone? Dan back at you with another video. Now this video is a little late, but I wanted to at least get a few more rounds myself of the challenges of all of the raids again before I start doing some guides on how to most efficiently do them. Now this video is going to take a look at King's Fall, even though King's Fall will not be the challenge for this week. Gives you some time to get some practice doing King's Fall, since King's Fall is still relevant content now. So once challenge mode comes back, you can do it very easily and efficiently. Now, for each encounter as well, I will also tell you about what weapons I suggest, what loadout you should use. It's pretty straightforward for each part. However, I like to use shotguns for the beginning of the raid and then just swap to snipers for pretty much the rest of the raid. Not too much has changed, but since we have some new weapons and some weapons coming back, makes it a lot easier and more efficient to using, some more weapons that we maybe not have used back in the day. So as we take a look at this raid, the first thing, of course, is of course doing the whole rune scene and slamming and dunking the little relics, giving you an idea of what you are going to have to be using the entire raid. So what I normally use here is a scout rifle, a dark drinker, or a raise lighter to kind of take out the ads pretty quickly, depending on the subclass I'm using. On top of having a full auto shotgun, the Proud Spire is one I would highly recommend. I sometimes use the old year 2 Burden Proof, the full auto one. Bad Counsel is another really good option if you have a good full auto on that. Is another option. The Occam's Razor is another option. Full auto shotguns for the beginning of this raid are very helpful. If you don't have a sword, even if you do have a sword, it's really helpful as well, just in case you want to save your ammo for the middle ads or the wizards at the end. Now with this part, this is where you do the totems, where you juggle the aura and the brand and the Death Singer's power, pulling it back and forth between the people on your side and the other side. Here you want to have a high impact sniper rifle if you have an Event Horizon, an Ex Machina, anything that's going to be the high archetype damage sniper rifle that's going to basically one shot the knights up top. You want to make sure you have something to take those guys out pretty quickly, because if you don't, they're going to wreck your entire team very quickly. So I would highly suggest putting on a sniper for this part. If you don't have a really high impact sniper, a Gallahorn will be fine, or a machine gun will be fine, but it's just a lot quicker and a lot simpler to get one headshot on the knight and just keep it moving. Here normally I use a scout rifle still, or sometimes a hand cannon, but most of the time a scout rifle is going to keep me safe in a far away place and do all the damage necessary. Gallahorn works really well here. Aquilon's Terminus works really well here as well. One of the two things I would suggest when you're doing this is take out the wizards, take out the knights, the hollow knights, I mean, from a far distance. And you want to make sure you have at least one or two weapons or a blessing when you're in the middle, just to keep everyone safe. And weapons helps, of course, is kill the wizards and the hollow knights quicker, so you can keep the people down middle and outside safe. So if you have enough titans, I would suggest having one put blessing when they get up there, the other one put weapons when they get up there, to keep everyone kind of safe, keep everyone being able to put a little bit more damage on the wizards and the hollow knights to protect the people down below. Next up, we have the War Priest. War Priest challenge is basically you can only hold the gaze one time when you're doing damage. So I would highly suggest, if you are the brand holder that has a scout rifle with explosive rounds, maybe life support or outlaw, don't put on something with Firefly, because that can cause stacks to go down even quicker by killing something else. You want to put on a high impact sniper still, something like Ex Machina, and something like, I don't know, Black Spindle is useful. However, I would suggest the loadout of Sleeper Simulant and a high impact sniper rifle with triple tap and casket mag, if you're able to get that. Ex Machina is also still really good, but if you have a high impact sniper rifle with triple tap and casket mag, I would highly put that loadout on. If you are able to get the crit shots pretty often, Black Spindle will work very well. But overall, a safer bet is having a Sleeper Simulant with just a high impact sniper rifle to finish off after you use up all of your sleeper shots. Putting on weapons in the middle, Tether of course will make it, for the most part, be able to two-cycle him in most cases, and most teams will be able to do that. So it's a safe bet as long as your brand holder can space out the 5 stacks and have a scout rifle that is going to basically, 1 or 2 shot in the head. After you do that, you're pretty much done with War Priest, and you can get your loot from the first challenge in King's Fall. Next up, we have the Golgoroth challenge. Golgoroth is simply taking the gaze, and then as you do damage before the gaze is gone, each person has to hold the gaze. So the simplest way of doing is doing the entire damage cycle, having a Titan with weapons going down to catch his gaze originally, popping a bubble, everyone else jumping down inside of the bubble with them. Person outside holds the gaze by taking down the pool of light, and then getting the gaze and counting it down. At about 10 seconds, you want to have someone come out, jump in the back, and then juggle the gaze that way. So I like to have it to where I hold gaze since I'm normally the raid leader. You have the people that were on left at totems be the odd numbers. People on right of totems be the even numbers. Give them all a number and have them basically count it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At about 6, you want to have that last person take the gaze and then come middle. And as a team, you all, shoot the orbs together. So it makes it very simple. It gives you a lot of time to do in DPS as well. Now, the loadout I would recommend for this is once again a scout rifle, a black spindle, not must have black spindle, but I would suggest having a black spindle. Weapons and tether and black spindle is gonna be thousands upon possibly millions of damage on Golgoroth. You want to have a heavy machine gun or a high impact blast radius rocket launcher to take out the ads from a distance as well. Next up, we have the Death Singer Sisters. Nothing really changed here. If you're doing it on hard mode, especially if you're doing challenge on hard mode, nothing has changed. Touch of Malice is still king, even with the nerf to Blessing of Light with Touch of Malice. I would still recommend just using a high impact sniper for the snipers out back, a rocket or heavy machine gun for the ads in middle, and Touch of Malice for pretty much taking out both sisters. Pretty much nothing changed here. I kind of wish they did maybe for challenge, but there's not much you can do here. Either way, Touch of Malice is all you gotta do to take out the ads here. Just make sure you have the platforms down pat, and that's pretty much it. Finally, we are at Oryx. If you've gone this far, first off, congratulations. This is a pretty lengthy and mechanical raid. Oryx is basically the same strat as before. Detonating all 16 bombs at one time requires you to do 4 cycles of basically spawn killing all the ogres. Even with Touch of Malice being nerfed, Sleeper is basically the best replacement. Pop a weapons bubble in the middle with a Titan. Come out, Sleeper Simulant basically almost one-shots with weapons. So if you have somebody on the platform beside you, they can shoot some primary at it and help take it out real quickly. Mainly in this case, with Sleeper being so powerful, especially with weapons, you can have the platform people focus mainly on their knights. If you have the 2 people in the middle with Sleeper, it's just taking out all the ogres pretty quickly. Of course, you always have a suggestion of keeping a raised ladder on you, because whoever's running the brand, the relic runner, needs to have a raised ladder, because it basically will take out the knight pretty quickly. Couple right bumpers and a right trigger normally does the job. Sleeper will stagger all of the Oryx chests as well pretty easily, especially if you still have weapons up. So nothing basically changed. My loadout normally here is either Doom Chelsis or just any other high impact scout rifle. Full auto ones are pretty nice. Sniper rifle, like a high impact one, and a Sleeper Simulant. If I'm running the relic, I normally put on Raised Lighter with a high impact Ex Machina or Event Horizon or any other high impact sniper, and a scout rifle. Doing that, that's a pretty decent loadout for any team. I would highly suggest having that no matter what subclass you're using, no matter what your job is. If you can do that 4 times and then just detonate all 16 orbs at one time, after 4 cycles, you're done. Challenge is done. Oryx is dead. You got a lot of good loot, and hopefully the raid didn't take too long. This raid can sometimes take a long time because of how long it is, and every encounter normally takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, unless you're a speedrun team. But that's pretty much it. The overall loadout normally is going to be a scout rifle, sniper rifle, and Sleeper Simulant for most of the raid, outside of a few other instances where Touch of Malice and Black Spindle are the exotic damage weapon of choice. So if you have any questions, have any suggestions, Hopefully this is going to help you get the King's Fall done, especially out there in those 100 IO or the LFG's scene. Hopefully this can help you. Nothing too much has changed in the past year, but I wanted to put out a guide just in case you haven't had a chance or haven't quite been able to finish Oryx. That's all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck out there in the King's Fall Challenge, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.